So as promised, here's a full breakdown of the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer from the Super Bowl. So we start off at a birthday celebration for Wade, where we see a lot of the characters from Deadpool 2, including Shatterstar, Dopinder, Colossus, see Blind Al and Buck from Margaret's Wayward School, the bar from the first two movies, Negasonic Teenage Warhead and her girlfriend Yukio, and of course everybody's favorite Peter, and of course Vanessa, who was Deadpool's whole reason for doing the time travel shenanigans in the first place. So after Wade makes his wish on his birthday cake, he gets a knock at the door. So clearly the TVA has been monitoring and watching Deadpool as he's been causing chaos and mayhem throughout the multiverse at the end of Deadpool 2, going and changing things. Now, because of the TVA, they don't have any guns or anything, but they do threaten Wade with their pruning sticks, which is where we get this great fourth wall break and this cheeky joke about pegging, which I'm surprised Disney let him do, especially mentioning Disney in the same breath as pegging, because I'd heard rumors that they weren't going to let him make fun of Disney as much as he had wanted to, but clearly that may have just been a misdirection, so hopefully, fingers crossed, and that they kind of go full on with that. Now, once they take Deadpool to the time portal, they rip off his wig, and as you can see here, they intentionally step on it. I'm thinking it's just to obviously show that the wig is ridiculous and clearly not a part of the Deadpool canon. Then we see Wade sitting at a table across from this guy, who I'm assuming is in a similar role as Mobius was in the Loki series, because this is pretty much exactly how it started in Loki when Loki first got to the TVA. Now, this character was not in Loki, but I'm assuming because he's performing a role similar to Mobius, he's probably doing a similar tactic that Mobius had with Loki as far as what they're going to be doing with Deadpool. Whereas instead of pruning him, they're actually going to use him to kind of help further their own goals of the TVA. Now, as we see later, that doesn't clearly fly, and they end up at odds at some point. But I'll get to that in a second. Now, then we see the same TVA agent take Wade over to a bunch of screens, in which case we get a few different screenshots. Two of these are from Age of Ultron, and that one's from Thor Ragnarok. And then we get to see a few shots from the events of Captain America the Winter Soldier, in which I didn't notice in the trailer is that Wade is actually saluting to the clips of Captain America, in which case they're giving Wade a choice where they're saying they need his help, and I'm assuming it's an ultimatum because obviously he doesn't have a choice here. It's either that or get pruned. We get this cool shot of Deadpool coming into focus as he's in these woods while it's snowing. Like I said before, this kind of reminds me of either the scene in the first X-Men movie, which we have seen shots from where we've seen Sabretooth fighting Wolverine being recreated in Deadpool 3 or Deadpool and Wolverine. So this very easily could be a scene that leads up to that scene. Now, I didn't take a screenshot of the scene that happened right before this, but it's basically more of the same where we see Deadpool fighting these TVA agents. Then we get this awesome choreography of Wade doing this super cool reload in front of the crashed and destroyed 20th Century Fox logo, which we've seen in some of the behind the scenes shots. And even more evidence of this falling out. We cut to this base where we see there's some kind of chaos going on, and we see this TVA agent in chains. Now, at a first quick glance, I thought this might have been a pterodactyl from the Savage Land, since this is the Void at the end of the TVA where they kind of prune everything, where all that stuff goes. But at a closer look, that is clearly Goliath at the that's taking this guy. So I'm assuming Renslayer might even show up at some point in Deadpool 3. Now, I'm skipping over a few of the quick clips of the action scenes they have because it's all just clearly a bunch of different scenes put together, and it's action, so we know what that looks like. The thing that stuck out the most from that little compilation of clips was Pyro. Was not expecting Pyro for some reason. I knew we were getting a bunch of the Fox X-Men characters back, but for some reason, Pyro just never even crossed my mind, so it's really cool to see him coming back. Then we go back to the snowy forest and we get this recreated shot from Deadpool 1 on the bridge where he's behind some type of cover and he puts his hand up and tells everybody to wait. And once again, instead of guns, because of the TVA, it's actually these pruning sticks that they go up on instead of pulling their rifles up to aim. Great callback, great callback. Then we get another scene from some of the behind the scenes shots that we were getting from a couple months ago of this little building where we see Wade going through a wall. Now, we don't get to see who it is, but it's safe to say it's more than likely Wolverine because clearly they have this long ongoing battle that has been going on in this desert type environment. And clearly this is a continuation of the other scene with that awesome reloading as we see Wade getting thrown or tossed across back into this 20th Century Fox sign that has been crashed and destroyed. Then we cut to Wade on the ground, basically asking Wolverine to pick him up off of the ground, which they don't quite reveal that it is immediately, but you get to see from the shadow, at least I thought so, from the top, it kind of looks like you can see the hair since he doesn't have his helmet on. And pretty much right when Wade thinks he's actually going to get some help, we see the claws get unsheathed and Deadpool's like, all right, you know what, never mind. And then we get one last little glimpse at the costume right before the trailer cuts off and we get the title. Now, I made a video not too long ago responding to Frankie talking about how the fanboys were going to be vomit crying about how awesome this is and the MCU is back. I said it once in that video and I'll say it again in this one. Don't take this from us, okay? We deserve this. This has been a long time coming, even before the MCU, like I said, was going downhill. We've been waiting for something like this since like early 2000 and something. So the fact that we know that we're getting a movie that's gonna be good, like without a doubt gonna be good, because it has all of the right workings in it for it. Ryan Reynolds pretty much spearheading this project and the entire thing since Inception. Hugh Jackman coming back. We got all the Fox characters coming back. We have direct connection to the MCU. Like, what more could you want? Like, why is this not something to be excited about? Let me try that again. Why is this something not to be excited about? Like, I am ecstatic. Like, I am extremely hyped for this. Like, this is the hype. So no, I won't go as far as to say this movie is going to save the MCU, but will this be a very, very bright point in a very dark time that we've had in the last, like, couple years? Yes. Yes, it will. And I will happily be there, excited, just like I am now.